A massive mistake that investors make is they start doing business with all the wrong people. Real estate is a team sport. You have to build the dream team if you want to go to the championship and you want to hit your wildest dreams, hit that freedom number, quit your job and get free. How, as an investor, can you build the dream team? We're going to talk about how you can go find those amazing people, and then how to build relationships with them long term. You need to go to your sphere of influence and you need to ask them for referrals. You're gonna need a contractor. Who do you know that's an amazing contractor that's done amazing work? And then you need to get a few referrals for contractors, for landscapers, for siding people, for painters, for drywall, all of the above. It's going to depend what you're doing as a real estate investor. So if we're talking about land development, that is a different set of skills than flipping a house. If we're talking about being a hard money lender, that is a different set of skills. But this video is more about building that dream team. So you go find your people. Then you need to actually Google their name. So you go drop Anton Stetner into Google and go look to see what comes up. Open up their social profile. If you open up their social profile and all they're doing is playing golf and they're drunk on the golf course, they may not be the best contractor. You get what I'm saying? And if you've played in contracting, you know what I mean. You've seen them show up and they're a little tipsy because that's what the industry sometimes attracts. But the professionals aren't like that. The professionals show up and they're ready to rock. They're good at communicating. They give you a bid. They stick to the bid and they tell it to you straight. After you're done Googling them, you should ask for a phone interview. You have a phone conversation. Hey, Anton, this is a project I'm thinking about doing. Is this the type of project you do? Can you provide me with 3 references of other people's for this type of project that you've done in the past that I could have a conversation with? Also, so then you call them, check the references, then meet them on site and get a bid. You're probably going to want to get 3 bids on everything until you can find your amazing preferred contractors and vendors. It's taken us well over 2 decades to build our amazing list of preferred people. But I will tell you, there are times when the preferred people are too busy, or for some reason something has changed, or the awesome old man that ran the business is now retiring and his son, he ain't that good, or the daughter doesn't want to take it over. That happens. That's life. So you always got to have a couple people on the side, on the bench that you're starting to work with, that you're starting to experiment with. The next thing you need to do is you need to understand their payment terms. In the beginning, they ain't going to trust you, and they shouldn't, and you shouldn't trust them. But a lot of contractors, once you get the bid and you agree to the contract, they're going to require like 50% down. In ideal world, I don't want to pay them 50% down. I'm taking a lot of risk on that. I'd like to pay 25 and then 25 and then 25. And now we have preferred vendors where they just bill us on a regular basis, or sometimes, depending on the job, especially if it's something a little bit special, we may have to make an initial small deposit to get it moving, and then they just bill us on the 25th of each month. With contractors also, it's about good communication, holding their hand and them holding your hand. It goes both ways. So if they're on site, they're working on it, you got to stop by, inspect what you expect. Are they meeting your standards? Are they living up to the expectations of the job? Is the timeline being met? Are we on budget? And if we're not on budget and the timeline's not being met and the work looks like garbage, be prepared to fire them. I'll tell you, this is not emotionally fun, but you have to be willing to fire a contractor in order to get the job done correctly. You have to build your own budget, and then you have to find the contractors to help with that budget. Now, let's go back to what I said. So that's you holding their hand. But what about where they're holding your hand? They're holding your hand where they're protecting you, where they're answering questions, where they're communicating back, where you get the phone call and they say, hey, I just ripped the cabinets out of the kitchen and you're doing a flip on the property, and there's some mold behind it, and there's some rotting OSB because the plumbing was copper and it's been leaking for a while. So now you got to rip the plumbing out. You got to replace it possibly with some PEX, or at least recopper it. You got to redo some boards, clean up all the mold, things of that nature. The good contractor tells you that. They call you. They talk to you about the problem. They tell you even when it's going to cost you more money. They don't just ignore the problem or hide the problem. Your goal, once you build these relationships, is to then have the next job available. If you've got another job available, you can keep them working, keep in their schedule, and they will help you while you help them. You need to build a relationship together. Some of the most beautiful contracting relationships is where we found vendors that were about our size, and we've grown together together over the last couple decades. We've been helping them and they've been helping us. It's been win-win the whole way. So I know that those guys and gals have our back and they're protecting us. And they tell us things like, hey, instead of flat fee on this one, I think I should just charge you hourly. Or, hey, Anton, this one's a box of worms. I gotta charge you hourly. I can't give you a flat fee. Or I can't give you an exact bid on this one. Because we've built those relationships over time, we know this stuff. If you don't have work, I still want you to communicate with them. Because I will tell you, even though contractors pretend not to be, they are a weird version of a social butterfly. Those dudes like to chat so much with each other about stuff. Your job is to chat with them and to be your friend. And then second, for you to realize that they only do the perfect work and everyone else's work is some form of chat. That's part of the conversation. That's a regular thing. If I would have done this, I would have done it this way. Look at this right here. Yes. That's amazing. Okay, when can we have it done by? How much is it going to cost? But you got to stay in communication with them. So honestly, we're friends with all of our contractors. We talk with them on a regular basis. We keep their workload full, but we still have to sometimes go find new ones and test them out. If you have more questions about finding your preferred vendor and how you should be doing it, drop your comments below. Also, tell me some horror stories or tell me something I missed here. Love to chat with you. My name's Anton Stetner. You can reach us at resg.com. Hit that subscribe button and share this with a friend that's trying to do a real estate project.